Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Pine Cove Farm. This is episode number 19, and yeah, we are kind of coming into this episode after having done almost all of this field number 2. This is in wheat, and nope, I'm sorry, actually in barley. My bad on that. I hope you all are having a wonderful, wonderful day, and hope you've had a wonderful weekend. And I just appreciate you guys coming in and watching my episodes. I really do. So yeah, so we started this sort of off camera, and then I decided that I would sort of bring us in together here for this episode, just about the time that we're finishing up this harvest. And this most likely is going to be the last harvest of this game day. We are in the same game day that we were in for Pine Cove Farm number 18, and also I believe in 17 as well. So this is mid-autumn, mid-fall, and this is pretty much all of the crops that we have available to harvest right now. And just kind of hoping, keeping an eye on the forecast, the weather forecast, and of course really hoping that the rain that is expected tomorrow in the next game day arrives sort of late in that game day, so that tomorrow, if any of our fields are available for harvest, that we can get that done and get all that wrapped up before we get into winter time. So of course time will tell. I haven't tested the waters. I haven't fast forwarded into the next game day just to see when the rain was going to hit. I sort of figured, well, I would just sort of be surprised right along with each and every one of you to see what is going to happen. But if we bring up our weather forecast, well, that's what we're facing. We're facing on the next game day, which would be considered Tuesday. We don't really play with days of the week necessarily, but that is what the next game day is. That would be late autumn, late fall, and we're looking at a high of 49, a low of 36 with rain in the forecast. So, and of course, first day of winter is 42 and 29. So it's all going to be kind of interesting. I suppose if this game has any level of suspense to it, well, there you go. So we've kind of got all hands on deck kind of again today. We've got workers over in the field in front of us, field number 3, picking up the straw from that field and transporting it down to the grain silos. And so did we get that guy? Yep, we've got him emptied. And so we're at 88% full here in our auger wagon, and we will go ahead and take this over to our semi and offload that. And then we're probably going to wrap up this episode with a few other odds and ends and things. I will tell you just a little bit about this new grain trailer that I have here. This is, and I think I might have mistakenly called one of our other grain trailers, sort of the original grain trailer that I had been using on this map. I believe I had maybe mistaking called it a Wilson grain trailer, and it was not. It was actually the Dakota grain trailer. So this is the Wilson Pacesetter grain trailer, and you may remember these from Farm Sim 15. This particular trailer came with a shorter version that could be towed behind the longer version, and for whatever reason in Farm Sim 17 that shorter version isn't available. But I think this holds about 50 or 60,000 liters. I don't know if that's accurate or not as far as the capacity and all that is concerned, but let's see. Let's just kind of let's get out and see what this guy is doing. He might be reading his comic book or something, and we'll go ahead and get them on their merry way. And we will do. Let's see. We'll stop him at the last trigger point because we don't need him to come out here to the field, and we'll just let him drive now. And we'll go ahead and haul the overloader back to the main farm because again we're more or less finished with our harvest today. Let's just while we're here together, let's just bring up our view here into our crop situation. And as you can tell, we've harvested all of these. Well, we didn't harvest field number 1. You know, somebody came in the middle of the night and stole our soybeans. But, you know, that is what it is. But we do have additional fields. Of course, field number 19 we harvested for chaff. And but we do have field number 8, 7, and 17, which again I'm hoping that will be available to harvest. And then of course field number 16. This is our split field. This was half potatoes, half sugar beets. And I don't know. I'm sort of thinking that we're not going to have a whole lot available to harvest. But again, I suppose time will tell. And if you are, you know, if you're kind of wondering why, you know, we planted everything as we get run off the road there by Billy Bob. We planted everything with the exception of soybeans, you know, sort of in that window, and it looks like Stan and Billy Bob got tangled up there, so we will help him out because, well, that's what we do, right? So we'll just drop this here and set our parking brake, and then we'll teleport up to our semi here because this guy is obviously having some difficulties, and we'll just get rid of that course and all will be good. So let me think, and this is not even his route to take. I wouldn't even have brought him around this way, but it is what it is, and hopefully he can make this turn. We'll see. Anyhow, I kind of lost my train of thought there. My apologies. Again, I'm not really sure what to expect as far as the harvest is concerned. I planted everything with the exception of the soybeans the soybeans were planted in the window based on what the season's mod basically anticipates as being what we can plant in. And if I just bring this up, I'll show you. So here we are. This is what we're in. We're in mid-fall. We planted our soybeans right here in early summer, which according to the season's mod can be done. We need a minimum soil temperature of 50 degrees, and obviously we had it, but I'm still thinking that maybe because we have updated our seasons mod multiple times as the team has released updated versions of that, we have updated our version here on my Farm Sim 17 game save. On this game save, we have updated it multiple times, at least, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 times. And well, I think that's just basically the situation. I think that's the issue. But we'll know soon enough. So let's go ahead, and I think we probably need to do a little bit of work at the compost facility. And so we will get in our John Deere here and head over there. And we'll just let Billy Bob finish up picking that straw up off of field number 3, and we'll head over to our compost facility and see what's going on over there, see if we can pick anything up, grab anything in compost, and move it over to the biogas facility. We'll also check the biogas facility and make sure that everything is working well there. and might even just, if Billy Bob finishes picking up the straw in field number 3, we might get a course, get him set up for field number 2, and have him do that as well. So, but anyway, on the next map, I think the Seasons mod right now, it's been probably a good week since I think I remember seeing an update for it. It's in, I think one of the very last updates they made for it was obviously introducing the planting schedule into the mod itself. If you followed this channel, if you followed my videos for any length of time, you know that I showed you several weeks ago, it probably was now, I showed you that chart. It was just an image, it was just a picture at that particular point in time, and I had permission from the Seasons mod developers to show that to you, and now of course they've incorporated that into the mod itself, and that is excellent news. And I think that was probably something that clearly needed to be done. They wanted to have that done before they even would consider this thing available for release. And of course, that question still is sort of the million-dollar question, if you will. We've got 7,400 liters of diesel. Just checking on our stuff here. That, of course, was the million-dollar question, and it still very much is, as far as when will the Seasons mod be released? And quite possibly, I think possibly the only other critical question that I from time to time receive is whether or not I know about whether Cattle and Crops is going to be released anytime soon, or at least the early access, the preview access of that. And more or less the same situation. It'll be released when it's ready and when they want to release it. But specifically with the Seasons mod, again, I can't necessarily speak for the development team. I'm just kind of going by what I've seen as this mod has progressed over the last several months and several weeks. Is that that I think that we've got to be closer to a release for the Seasons mod than say we were a couple of months ago. And that may or may not make a whole lot of sense, but I think what I'm just trying to say is that I know they want to release it as soon as they possibly can. That's just kind of, I think, common sense. They want to get it out there. Obviously they've put so much work into it. They're not going to just sit on it for private use, but at the same time, they really want it to be, they really want it to be capable of functioning well enough so that they can just kind of support. I'm sorry, my sinuses are really bad today. But they want it to be at a certain point to where that they can just sort of support the functionality of the mod versus supporting problems. And I will tell you all that, as soon as I learn about when this mod will be available, as soon as I have some good solid information to be able to share with you, I will certainly do that. So I'm not gonna be setting on this information. I know I do record my videos in advance, and so there's a period of time that I'm not recording videos, because obviously I try to record about 3 or 4 videos on the weekend, and then I try to pick up a video or two during the evening, during the week. And yeah, if you're looking up in the upper right hand corner of my screen, you may see that it looks like it's about 12:18, 12:19, and it is. It's Thursday morning, just after midnight, and I went to bed about probably about 10:30, and for whatever reason I woke up about 11:45 or so, and had sort of sinus allergy symptoms, sneezy and stuff like that. And I could sort of tell, with me, if I wake up like that after only having been asleep for about an hour, it's kind of hard for me to get back to sleep. And so I sort of figured, okay, well, let me go downstairs, let me take a Claritin and kind of see how it goes. I didn't want to basically get on and record a video if I was going to be sneezing the entire time. So if you can kind of just, I'll try to clean up the sniffles and everything as much as I can in post-production for you. But I don't know what it is about this year. And I know I've talked about my allergies, and I'm just going to shut up about it, because I'm not going to continue to harp on about that kind of stuff. But I'm just telling you that it's a tough year, it seems to be, and hopefully things will get better for me. All right, so let's dump this batch in, and I think what we'll also do here is we'll grab some fertilizer. Well, we can't, no more capacity. Okay, let's see. Will it take some more? Nope, it will not. So we will need to carry this up to the main farm, and then come back and take a look at that dry fertilizer situation, because we can carry that over to one of our farming neighbors. They'll buy that and make a little bit more money. And I know that we've done this kind of work a couple of different times, where it's somewhat, well, I don't know if it's ever really dominated an episode. I've tried to do multiple things per episode, just to kind of keep things interesting for you all. But this is part of the deal. This is all part of our farming empire here on Pine Cove Farm, and it's all stuff that we need to do, and we need to kind of stay on top of. And so just enjoy it with me. I've got to say that it doesn't really matter what I do in the game itself. I'm pretty much having fun regardless. So I think what we will do is I want to get rid of that little green notice on the left-hand side of my screen that says that the John Deere 680 is finished work. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Ian, who goes by the name of well, I'm going to struggle at pronouncing this. Toranian, I think, is about the way that I understand that he says that. He is a member of PCSG, and he helped me do something. And of course, this is for my private use, so I'm not going to share this. But I was sort of complaining about these extra views. So this particular mod comes with about 6 or 8 camera views, and I'm just old-fashioned. The default equipment and most of the modded equipment only has 2 views. It's got first person or in cab, and it's got third person or external. And I'm just a simple kind of guy, and really just wanted the 2 views, because it's tough for me if everything else I have on the map has just the 2 camera views, and then I get in that John Deere combine and it has multiple views to it, and I've got to cycle through those, and I'm not really that keen on necessarily showing those views in the videos. It just becomes a little bit of a problem for me. So thankfully Ian helped me out. I'll be honest with you, I'm not scared of a lot of things in life, but Giants Editor does kind of freak me out just a little bit, and maybe it's because you know, maybe it's because I just don't, you know, I'm a hardware guy at heart. I grew up, you know, I've told you all that I'm an IT guy. I've shared sort of my career experiences and everything with you guys and gals here on the channel. And but I'm an old hardware guy. I got started in the IT business, you know, as hardware support. I sort of cut my teeth in tech support with doing doing printer support way back when, and so just kind of moved into, you know, servers and other types of hardware support stuff. And and so even though I do end up supporting a lot of software at my current, you know, my current job, what I'm doing, but you know, I'm just a hardware guy, and so sometimes the software side of things just kind of freaks me out a little bit. And something like Giants Editor, you know, I'd much rather, I guess, spend my time playing the game versus messing about. And I know some people enjoy that. And hey, let me tell you something. I will take my hat off, or tip my hat, or however you want to say that. I appreciate very, very much what the modding community does for all of us who play this game, because let's face it, I've said this before, and I know that many of you guys will agree as well. This game would be super boring. I mean, let's face it, this game came out at the end of October, so let's call it November of 2016. Can you imagine if there were no modded equipment and if there were no modded maps and we had just Goldcrest Valley and Sosnovka for this? Can you imagine how, I mean, you know, we'd be bored by now. I mean, we would have already probably played Goldcrest Valley more than once. Sosnovka, you know, which many of us that purchased the FS15 Gold package, or the expansion package, whatever it was called back then, we'd already played that in 15, and you know, playing it a second time around in 17 would be cool and everything, because obviously there's a little bit of difference, a little bit of new stuff that's going on, but still not that much. I think for the most part, either the amount of time, the amount of hours that we would put into this game each day or each week would certainly be at a minimum. And I'm guessing that our tractor needs maintenance, and it does, and it's shut off. So that's all part of the Seasons mod. That's a new addition they put in a few weeks ago. You know that on Lawfolds I was keeping that little Sammy, not doing any maintenance on it, and of course expecting that it would shut off, that it would stop working. And of course they finally put that in where once it does reach maintenance is required status, the equipment can shut off when it's being used. I've not experienced it where it shuts off completely, where it will not come back on, but the engine does basically shut off, and so that's happened, you know, just the one time there. So let's go ahead and sell our fertilizer. We're not doing anything with fertilizer. We're basically wrapping this season up, as I've mentioned a couple of times. We will be playing this through winter, and maybe, you know, maybe a game day into spring or something of the next year, just to kind of see how we're doing. But yeah, we're gonna basically end this map, and we're gonna start up our next American map, our American style map. And I've got a little bit of news about that. So check down below the video screen and look at my list of 3 Dudes Gaming Network members. We've got a brand new network member. His name is Pharmer Klein. Pharmer Klein and I have gotten to know each other over the last couple of weeks. Pharmer Klein is also an IT guy like me, so we have a few things in common. Not in addition to our enjoyment of Farm Sim, I believe Pharmer Klein is new to Farm Sim as far as Farm Sim 17 is concerned. I don't think he, at least I think I vaguely remember him mentioning the fact that he had not played any of the other versions. And we'll just go do maintenance on this tractor really quick while we're thinking about it. But so Pharmer Klein is an official 3 Dudes Gaming Network member that was announced today, actually. And of course, when I say today, I really meant Wednesday, the 12th of April. And so he's got a YouTube channel, obviously, and it's doing quite well. And he does map reviews, and let's see, 956. So left Alt R, and yes, $956, and off we go again. But yeah, Pharmer Klein. So Pharmer Klein, like I said, YouTube channel. I've been watching his map reviews and such, and so Pharmer Klein did a map review just this week, or at least I watched it this week, on another Texas style map, and this one is called Northwest Texas, and it sort of takes place, or the map replicates an area in Northwest Texas near the panhandle of Texas called Childress, Texas. And it's on Highway 287. It's kind of halfway between Amarillo and Wichita Falls. And so this is a big farming area of Texas. It's lots of let me just shut that off so I don't continue to babble. Farming area of Texas, and cotton in this area. Cotton is pretty big in this area, as a matter of fact. And by the way, speaking of cotton, has cotton made its way to Farm Sim 17 yet? Does anyone know? And if you do, let me know. Has cotton been placed on any of the maps? And if so, are there any decent cotton harvesters out there? You know, in Farm Sim 15, we had cotton. I know I played one of Stevie's maps that had cotton on it, had sorghum, and had rye and a few other things, soybeans. But there wasn't any, well, at least I never found any decent cotton harvesting equipment. I have seen some like work in progress models for 17 that look pretty darn good. Actually, some John Deere cotton harvesters that look pretty good for Farm Sim 17, but I don't know if anyone has put cotton in the map yet. So if you know of something, let me know. I don't even know, maybe Northwest Texas has cotton in it. Although I don't think so. I kind of perhaps doubt that it does. But any event, Pharmer Klein, his YouTube channel, check it out. You'll get the link down below the video screen. Check it out. Well, he reviewed this this Northwest Texas map. Okay, and so let me just refresh my memory on how to. All right, so not real sure what's going on there. I will. Let's just haul this this fuel up there. I think it may have digested in it. I was trying to fill up the liquid fertilizer, but not to worry. We've got a hitch on our semi here for this trailer, and so let's fill this up with fuel, and we'll take this up to the to the compost facility. But anyway, check out Pharmer Klein's channel. He did the review on Northwest Texas, and after having seen that that map, and I drive through there at least once, if not twice a year, as I go down to visit my family in Texas, it has my interest piqued quite a bit. It's a big map. It's a 4X map, and no, we're probably not going to play the biggest of the fields on it. There are fields range from, I think, like 2 hectare acres up to like humongous. I mean, I think the biggest field is possibly like the total size of what was old streams or something like that. I mean, it's a huge field. The area where the cattle and the sheep are also quite huge. But I think it'll be a nice transition from this map, in keeping with American style, with big equipment, big, go big, go home kind of thing. It's probably, by the time we get there to that map, the Big Bud DLC is going to be out. The Big Bud DLC is going to be out on May the 9th. And by the way, Giants did release a kind of a teaser video on that looked kind of nice. And I've got to say that even though I've said on this channel before, and I will stand by what I've said, I'm not a big fan of the Big Bud DLC or the Big Bud tractor itself. It doesn't excite me that much, because I like the big John Deere that we have on this map, or even the big Challengers that we have on this map. I like those, and I think that they work well for what we do here on this map, and I think they'll also work fine in Northwest Texas. But I really like some of the other equipment that is coming as part of the Big Bud DLC. But even seeing the Big Bud, most likely I will use it on a map at least once, just to say, okay, I've got my money's worth out of it. Because I think I've told this story before, but when the IT runner came out for Farm Sim 15, I bought it because I like to support the game developers by purchasing the DLC. No, I don't own all the paint kit or paint packages from ETS2 and such, but I do try to buy the region add-ons for ETS2. I try to buy, obviously I'm looking forward to buying all the state DLCs that ATS releases for American Truck Sim. But with regards to Giants, I have tried to purchase everything that they have released, and I purchased the IT runner, and I never used it. I never used it in Farm Sim 15 because the type of maps that I was playing, I could just never, figure out a way to best utilize it, and it just sort of sat on my hard drive and collected, virtual dust, if you will. And but now I've used it a couple of times in 17, which obviously it was provided as part of the regular content and everything for Farm Sim 17. And I have, like I said, I've used it a couple of different times. I've actually got some of the IT runner stuff here on this map, and I've used it on Stevie's edit of Goldcrest. But in any event, I will at least, buy the Big Bud, the 747 one, and I will, feature it on a map. And most likely, that's probably going to be Northwest Texas, because again, I like that area. Now, I did not grow up in the panhandle of Texas. I grew up in Northeast Texas, and so near Tyler, near the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And So, you know, the Lone Star map does sort of situate itself or takes place there in northeast Texas, about, I'd say about 50 miles or so from where I grew up. So that may also be a map that I play. I don't know if I will, play it at the same time that I'm playing Northwest Texas. I kind of have a storyline set up, figured out that I'm going to be doing as far as how we sort of transition from Pine Cove Farm to Northwest Texas. So you'll just have to kind of stay tuned for that. So I don't know if that same storyline or all that would kind of work with with doing two Texas maps at the same time, so I'm probably not going to mess with that. So let me just go find where this guy is, and let's stop him, and we'll just go ahead and drive him back to the main silo. And so he did a pretty good job getting this picked up. Took him, oh, I don't know. I mean, when I started off working off camera, I actually did the majority of that field, field number 2, I think it was, yesterday, and then I had every intention of actually leaving a little bit more of that field and showcasing a little bit more of the harvesting than just about a row and a half, but I kind of forgot about it, and next thing I know, I was almost done with the field, and I'm like, whoa, I was gonna kick the episode off harvesting, so kind of had to regroup and change my plan. But I started him up at the same time that I started harvesting that field, and I didn't get everything done that I wanted to get done, so I ended up stopping the game and then coming back and restarting it right before I kicked the recorder off. And so I guess it took him about 30 minutes to record or to clear that straw off the field. So he made good time. Billy Bob's a good worker. Now that he's not, now that he understands which side his bread is buttered on. In other words, he's not exhausting himself working for Doughboy. That he fully understands what his commitments and everything are with regards to his work here for us. So we're approaching 40 minutes. Time just really flies when you're having fun, and of course anytime I play this game I'm having fun. So I'm going to head over here and top the fuel tank up on this John Deere, because his next job that he's going to need to do is going to obviously be pick up the straw in field number 2, because we're not, we may not have the luxury of getting all of our fields harvested for whatever reason. And again, the best that I can sort of determine is it must be because I've updated the mod several times in this game save, and so it just may be that something has sort of got out of sync. I don't know. We'll find out obviously when we accelerate into the next game day. I don't really think that there'll be much more that we need to do here on this game day. I will just kind of clean things up. Our animals are looking good all the way across the board as far as their health and cleanliness and all that kind of stuff. So most likely we will just be picking up the straw from field number 2, and then basically most likely calling this game day good, and then fast forwarding, progressing into the next game day, and we will see what is there to do, and we'll do whatever it is that we can do. If the crops are not ready to harvest, or if it's raining and we can't harvest, then we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get to it. There was one thing that I was going to say, and I sort of lost my train of thought. But I was going to say that when I was talking about the fact that once the Seasons mod comes out, if I hear about it and it's out, it's available, even if I've recorded episodes and everything, I will at the very least make this commitment to each and every one of you that I will record. It may just be nothing more than just a quick video of me sitting in the tractor, telling you all that the Seasons mod has been released, and I'll push that out to YouTube so that you'll have that information. And of course, I will provide you any additional information that you would need at that particular point in time. But I will just tell you, and I'm sure I've talked about it, and I'm sure you've even sort of witnessed it. And obviously, we don't really know what's going on with our planting and our harvest readiness and everything, and what's going on with that. But I will just tell you that if you're gonna go down the route of the Seasons mod once it becomes available, be prepared to start a brand new game save with the Seasons mod for the best results. If you try to interject that, even once it comes out of work in progress, once it goes, general availability and comes out of beta, I'm sure you're going to need to start a new game save for it to function correctly, and so be prepared for that. But I thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure you check out all of the folks that are with the Three Dudes Gaming Network. Eustace, Pharmer, TBF Gaming, and myself. We are the Three Dudes. And then you've got Doughboy2913. You've got MultiMikey. You've got Wheels247, and then of course our brand new official network member is Pharmer Klein. So check those guys out. Also check out all of my other friends, guys like Reefy1952, the Bipolar Prophet, Shawnee B. All of those guys are excellent YouTubers and produce excellent, awesome, extremely awesome, extremely cool Farm Sim content, Farm Sim 17 content. Heck, Reefy1952 is still doing a series, at least one series on Farm Sim 15. So check out all those channels. I trust you, or trust me, when I tell you that if you're looking for good Farm Sim content, you'll find it on those folks' channel that I have linked to my channel. So thanks for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead, and I've got my ear to the news on both cattle and crops, as well as Seasons mod and everything else that's going on in this hobby, agricultural based simulation gaming, and I will make sure that I bring it to you with each and every episode that comes out of my channel. So thank you so much for watching. Sorry for the longer video. Thank you again. God bless you all. Take care. Bye bye.